There are two types of JavaScript developers, the people who use frameworks and the people who lie. Welcome to every JavaScript framework in the amount of length of this video, whatever it is. First, what even is a framework? A framework is a JavaScript cult that tells you how to build websites. Some are chill, some want your soul, and all of them want your node modules to be over 400 MB. React, the UI library that says it's just a library, but you still need a PhD in Webpack, Babel, JSX, and mental gymnastics to do anything. You build UIs with components, hooks, managed states. It's the IKEA of web dev. Beautiful results, existential instructions. Used in everything from Netflix to your cousin's food blog. Vue, the approachable genius. Vue is like React. If React had better documentation, more sensible defaults, and didn't gaslight you every time you made a mistake. You write HTML, CSS, and JavaScript in one file. It's intuitive, reactive, and French for Vue because it's classy. Angular, the corporate overlord. Angular is not a framework, it's a lifestyle, built by Google for enterprise apps that require TypeScript, RxJS, decorators, dependency injection, and probably a priest. Pros, batteries are included. Cons, so are the taxes. Svelte, the compiler wizard. Svelte compiles your code at build time, which means no virtual DOM, no runtime bloat, and no mercy. It's the minimalist monk of frameworks. Write less, do more, ship tiny bundles. Also, the syntax will make your eyeballs smile. Solid, the performance freak. Solid looks like React had a glow up and started lifting. It uses fine-grained reactivity and JSX, but updates the DOM like it got insider trading tips from the future. Warning, once you use it, going back feels like running in wet socks. React, but smaller. React is React Mini-Me, same API, but 3 KB in size. You can use it to build fast apps or to confuse your coworkers when they say this React app feels too fast. Best used when performance matters and lawyers say React license give them a rash. Alpine.js, Tailwind's pet framework. Alpine.js is like Vue if Vue moved into your HTML and refused to leave. Perfect for small interactivity, toggling modals, drop-downs, and pretending you don't need a full spa. It is JavaScript sprinkled on HTML. Simple, beautiful, slightly passive-aggressive. Lit, the web components believer. Lit is here to say you already have components. They are called HTML elements. It uses the native web component APIs with sprinkle of reactivity and template literals. Ideal for building reusable design systems and for making your React friends cry. Astro, the framework that doesn't believe in JavaScript. Astro ships zero JavaScript by default. It's HTML first, content focused, and lets you write React, Svelte, Vue, or whatever, but only hydrates what you actually need. It's like server-side rendering on a diet. Great for blogs, docs, and impressing your Lighthouse score. Next.js, the corporate cool kid. Next.js is React, but with a job. Built by Vercel, Next.js gives you routing via the app or pages directory, server-side rendering, static site generation, or hybrid rendering. API routes, middleware, image optimization, and TypeScript support baked in. In short, it turns React from a UI library into a full-blown web app beast. Also, half the web is now running on it. The other half is still arguing on Twitter. Remix, the web standards purist. Remix is like, what if React but actual HTML forms again? It embraces web fundamentals, server-side data fetching directly in your route files, nested routes, loaders, actions, all the verbs your backend dreams of. Progressive enhancement out the box. It's React, but without the fetch in use effect, hydrate everything, and cry path. Perfect for people who read MDN for fun and believe SPAs have gone too far. Nuxt, Vue's full-stack fancy suit. If Next.js and Vue had a baby, Nuxt would be the overachieving honor student. With Nuxt, you get file-based routing, server-side rendering, static site generation, Vue 3, composition API, and TypeScript out of the box. Nitro, a backend engine for server APIs and functions, auto-imported components, composable, and modules. Nuxt does for Vue what Next did for React, but with better DX and occasional baguette emojis. Svelte Kit, the compiler's final form. You like Svelte? Well, now there's Svelte Kit, and it brought routing, endpoints, layout, and a 6-pack. Features include file-based routing, layout, and load functions, server-side rendering, static exports, or hybrid. Full-stack endpoints, small bundles thanks to compiler-based rendering. No virtual DOM, no hydration madness, just speed, simplicity, and vibes. If React is overthinking, SvelteKit is walking barefoot in the grass. Qwik, the resumable sorcerer. Qwik said, why load the whole app on page load? Let's not. It uses resumability, skip hydration, just resume where server left off. Fine-grained lazy loading, JSX, and signals like Solid, built by the same people behind Angular, but it's nothing like Angular. The idea is load nothing until absolutely needed, so your app goes from 0 to interactive faster than your dopamine kicks in. Basically, it's the future's weird cousin that actually works. In future videos, I'll dive into these frameworks one by one, with real code, real examples, and zero patience for boilerplates. Subscribe because choosing your favorite JavaScript framework is now a full-time job.